I picked up my Switch 2 6 months ago on release day, and I've been having such a great time playing through Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pokemon Legends ZA, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. This thing has brought me a lot of joy, which is really odd because I feel like I see a lot more discourse about this thing than people actually enjoying their unit, but I'm happy I'm one of those outliers. As of right now, I have very few complaints about the console, but I do have one big gripe that has been bothering me for the past 6 months. Can someone explain to me why the Switch 2 has only come in black? Why does it look so boring? The new Joy-Con look like they went to law school, lost all their personality, and all they have left is their fun-colored socks. Not everybody wants to take out neon-colored controllers on the train. I get that. This is Nintendo we're talking about. They're the ones who coined the neon Joy-Cons throughout the entire life of the original Switch. On top of that, they are the ones that designed the GameCube controller, probably one of the most whimsical designs in controllers that I have seen, period. But when I sit down with my Switch 2, the new Joy-Con just don't do it for me. I couldn't stand the idea of playing with these drab controllers, so I tore them apart and did this. I had so much confidence going into this project. I've done so many shell swaps on the original Joy-Con. How hard could these be? And that's the thing, it wasn't that bad. I ordered the smoke black replacement shells from eXtremeRate. The kit comes with everything you need for this project, including these tiny screwdrivers. Are they serviceable? Yeah. Are they magnetic? Yeah. But if I had to use these for the entire project, I think I'd rip my hair out. I recommend you getting another screwdriver set, but if you're doing this just once, these are perfectly serviceable. If you are planning on doing this for yourself, I have a couple of tips that will make your life exponentially easier. Have the iFixit disassembly guide handy. I don't care how good you think you are at organizing your screws, having a guide with clear pictures showing you exactly where things go is always a plus. eXtremeRate does have an official video that looks pretty great, but I personally used the iFixit guide for the entire thing. Now I learned this one when I was taking apart the original Joy-Con, and these have the same issue. All the tri-point screws in these Joy-Cons can be easily stripped. So when removing these tri-point screws, put a bit of weight on it and slowly back it out. If you don't feel or see the screw unturning as you're twisting the screwdriver, stop. You are stripping that screw and it's gonna be awful to try to get out. Ask me how I know. This is honestly one of the biggest ones. Please test as you go. If the face buttons don't feel right, I recommend slightly untightening those screws until they feel normal. And same with the triggers. If they don't feel right, just take them off and try it again. Trust me, it'll be worth it. This last tip is kind of just a general tip when it comes to disassembling your things. Please don't use metal prying tools to pry open plastic. This is how you leave scratches on all your plastic parts. That is one thing I don't like about eXtremeRate's tutorial video. They use metal tools all the time on plastic parts, which is really odd because eXtremeRate does include a plastic spudger in the kit. So I don't know why they're using tweezers when they can just use a spudger. I don't know why. Now this is a good time to mention that I ordered the Essence kit that came with just the external shells for the Joy-Con, not the centerpiece, and these front face buttons here. Didn't come with anything else. The rest is just the stock Joy-Con. eXtremeRate does sell kits that include alternate player indicator shells and a bunch of other buttons and triggers. I just got the Essence kit for this. And after about 2 hours of work, I had some great looking Joy-Cons. Wait. Why is the LED on the right side not working? Until I got to the right Joy-Con. When I put it back together, everything worked, except for the player indicator LED. At this point, I thought I screwed up the entire thing. And see, this is what I was worried about. When eXtremeRate announced the release of these shells, it took me a while to pull the trigger. I mean, these controllers are so expensive. It's $100 for the pair. I mean, I know you can buy a single one, but it doesn't make it any better. It's still $54 for a singular Joy-Con. At this point, I went through all this trouble to ruin a perfectly good controller. I thought I had to buy an entirely new Joy-Con just to finish this mod. And that's 50-something bucks I could have spent on another game, but no, I have to spend it on another controller because I broke the first one. Or at least I thought I did, because I didn't plug in the cable for the indicator LEDs. Everything else on the controller worked perfectly. It was just the LEDs that weren't lighting up. And I forgot to plug in one cable. So that was one part of the process that scared me a lot, but I did it fine. I just done goofed and didn't plug something in. It happens to everybody. Now my only real concern for mods like this, besides the possible failure, is button feel. You know when you're taking something apart and you put it back together and it doesn't feel exactly like it did before you took it apart? That's what I was concerned about with these. When putting this back together, I thought the bumper on this side was much more loose than the one on the other side, but I just reseated it and it was just fine. One thing that did rub me the wrong way about the reassembly of these Joy-Con was the adhesive that goes on this side of the controller. Required adhesive, or else this piece doesn't stay on. And this is nothing against eXtremeRate. This is more of a read on Nintendo. Thankfully, the kit does come with a couple of strips to reapply when you're done, so this piece doesn't fall off. But I really think that this adhesive is entirely unnecessary and very anti-consumer. In terms of right to repair, I don't like adhesive in my devices if there doesn't have to be. And that's the thing, if the clips on this part were just a bit more beefy, we wouldn't even need the adhesive in the first place. Now you're telling me that after all of this, you still want to make your Joy-Cons look like this. I'd say go for it. For all the pain, sweat, tears, crying, and screwing that came with this project, you get yourself a controller that doesn't look like something that Nintendo would sell. Like, you can do this. You can take this apart and put it back together exactly the way that you want, with the exact buttons and the exact shells to make them suit you.